The Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra is finally here. It's in the house. Let's get it unboxed, go through all of its features, and also do a bit of a hands-on comparison with the S24 Ultra. This video is sponsored by Subcase. Stay tuned to find out how you can get 15% off. Now, we've got some updated imagery on the packaging. We've got a bit of a silhouette with the side angle of the S25 Ultra. And the packaging is made with 100% recycled paper. Inside the box, we've got the device, and there is another pack in the upper part of the packaging. Don't miss this. And inside that, we've got a SIM card tool, some paperwork, as well as a USB Type-C cable. And here it is. I've got the titanium Silverblue, but it's also available in a titanium white silver, a titanium gray, as well as a titanium black. Now, there are 3 exclusive colors available from Samsung.com: a titanium pink gold, a titanium jade green, and a very sleek looking titanium jet black. The jet black also has color match frames. And if you are interested in picking up the S25 Ultra, do check out my affiliate link down in the description below. That's going to give you double the storage. It's also going to give you up to $350 in instant Samsung credit. The extra $50 is exclusive to that link, so do check it out. Now, the way to really see the difference is to bring in the Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra. And the first thing that you'll notice is that we do have rounded corners now rather than the flat boxed off corners that we've traditionally had on the Ultra devices. The sides are also completely flat now. They had a bit of a curve on the left and the right hand side of the S24 Ultra. And the S25 Ultra is noticeably lighter compared to the S24 Ultra. It's 218 grams, which is 14 grams lighter. It's also slightly thinner and not as wide. I think the only other noticeable difference is with the camera rings. We've got much thicker camera rings on the S25 Ultra compared to the S24. So an incremental update, but more of an update to what we've had in the past couple of years. Let me know what you think of this refreshed design. Now, we still have IP68 water and dust resistance, and the build materials, we've got improved titanium. I'm not sure what grade it is. We're going to have to wait for somebody to do that test. And at the front, we now have Gorilla Armor 2. So Gorilla Armor was introduced on the S24 Ultra, and the S24 Ultra had my favorite display of 2024 because of its anti-reflective properties. Gorilla Armor 2 has now been improved on the S24 Ultra, although from the anti-reflective side, it seems to be pretty similar to me, but it is supposed to be around 30% more resistant to fractures and 60% less likely to get screen damage. Now, as durable as the S25 Ultra is, it is not indestructible. And if you're getting the S25 Ultra, you'll want to protect it with a case from our video sponsor, Subcase. For award-winning protection, you can go for the UB Pro case, which combines shock-absorbing TPU and unbending polycarbonate for superior drop protection and also includes a built-in kickstand. The UB grip is designed with textured edges to provide a secure hold, reducing the risk of accidental drops, and is 15-foot drop tested with a ring on the back for use as a kickstand or ring holder. And my favorite, the UB Mag XT, which brings MagSafe compatibility to the S25 Ultra and supports Apple's MagSafe system. It also features a built-in camera cover that not only protects the lenses, but doubles up as a kickstand for hands-free viewing. All have raised bezels to protect the screen and camera lenses from scratches when placed on flat surfaces. Check out the link and exclusive discount code in the description to pick up your Subcase and get 15% off. Now, before we look at the rest of the display, we have to talk about the S Pen. So the S25 Ultra does come with the enclosed S Pen. However, this no longer has Bluetooth. It's been very controversial, and just looking at the comments of my previous video, people are absolutely hating on it. So what does that mean? So you're still going to be able to hover with the S Pen. It's still got that functionality. It's just that you're not going to be able to use it remotely. So if I was to press this, it's not going to do anything. It's not going to remotely trigger the camera. I'm not going to be able to use it to switch between slides or anything like that. Now, apparently, from what I've heard, the reason for removing it was that only 1% of people actually use that functionality, or 1% of the time. And if I really think about it, I've only ever used the trigger very occasionally. I don't use it all the time. So maybe that's why. I'm not sure. For a lot of you, that might just be a deal breaker and you might want to stick to the S24 Ultra. Now let's talk a little bit more about this display because it is beautiful and it's already one of my contenders for the best display of 2025. In addition to the anti-reflective properties that you get with Gorilla Armor 2, this is now a 6.9-inch display, so it's up from the 6.8 inches that we had in the S24 Ultra. And that is thanks to the even smaller bezels. We've got around a 15% reduction in the bezels. Not sure how noticeable this is when you look at them side by side, but when you do look at the front of this display, it is beautiful and it's all screen with just a small border and a very small punch out. Now, apart from that, the display has all of the features you'd expect. Quad HD Plus resolution, dynamic AMOLED 2X with a 1 to 120 Hz adaptive refresh rate and a 2600 nits peak brightness. One of the new things that we have on the display this year is MDNIE technology, and it's got a Pro Scaler feature which will upscale content by up to 43% by default. You're not going to have to do anything. The fingerprint scanner remains the same. It's the Gen 2 Qualcomm 3D Sonic sensor. I've got no problems with this. It's one of the fastest and best fingerprint scanners out there, so no complaints there. And underneath the hood, this is powered by the Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Elite for Galaxy. What is for Galaxy? Well, it's pretty much an overclocked version with some custom features that you're not going to get on other 8 Elite devices. There's 12 gigabytes of RAM with an enlarged vapor chamber. It's 40% larger compared to the S24 Ultra. And we've got a tailored TIM thermal interface material for extra thermal efficiency. Now, all of this is going to mean around a 40% improvement for the NPU, a 37% improvement for the CPU, a 30% improvement for the GPU, 40% improvement for ray tracing, and an 18% improvement for the Vulkan API. Now, having tested other devices that are powered by the 8 Elite, this is really going to be one of the top devices out there, considering it is overclocked and it's for Galaxy. So I don't think you're going to have any problems with the performance on the S25 Ultra. Now let's talk about the cameras. So the selfie camera is 12 megapixels. It does have a new image signal processor thanks to the chipset. So we'll see how good the selfies are. And for the rear-facing cameras, relatively the same as last year with one big change. So we have a 200 megapixel primary camera, a 10 megapixel 3x zoom camera, a 50 megapixel 5x zoom camera, which can extend all the way up to 100 times. And the new camera we have this year is a 50 megapixel ultra wide camera. This is up from the 12 megapixels that we've had over the past few years, and with the new Pro Visual AI engine, it should mean much better images with the ultra-wide camera. Now, if you do want me to compare the S24 Ultra to the S25 Ultra SuperSaf style, then do let me know down in the comments below. Now, another advantage this high-resolution ultra-wide camera brings is 8K video from the ultra-wide camera. So now we've got it on the ultra-wide, the primary, as well as the 5x telephoto camera, 8K from all of those lenses. That's amazing. We also have 10-bit HDR video. This is going to be switched on by default. It's going to be interesting to see how compatible this is with all of the different apps. And we have log video recording, which means you'll be able to record with a flat picture profile that you can edit afterwards and grade the way you like. Now, you can also download the Expert RAW app, and this is going to give you some features like the virtual aperture. I'm going to be testing all of these out, and of course, I'm going to be putting this up against the iPhone 16 Pro Max SuperSaf style. If you want to see that camera comparison first, then be sure to subscribe and hit that bell icon so you don't miss it. I'm working on it as soon as I can. So we've had a good look at the hardware. Now let's talk about the software, because this is, I guess, where a lot of the key selling points of the S25 Ultra are. So we of course have Android 15 with One UI out of the box, and Samsung has once again promised 7 generations of Android OS updates. This is right up there with Google. They partner with Google for a lot of things, and this is probably the best in terms of updates that you're going to get on any other Android device. And then we of course have Galaxy AI. So Galaxy AI was introduced with the S24 series, but it's now been updated with lots of new features on the S25 series. Now I'm going to run through as many of these as I can in this video, but we'll cover them in detail in my full review. So we have audio eraser, similar to what we've seen on Google devices as well as the iPhone. You can record some video and then you'll be able to adjust the background noise, remove it, whether it's wind or it's just crowd noise or music. We have AI photo editing with improved generative edit, so it's going to be more accurate in removing people. In my brief testing, this does seem to work really well. Drawing assist has been improved with a new large language model, so you'll be able to also use text instead of just being able to sketch. There's best face. We've seen a similar take with the best take on Google. If you take a bunch of images, you're going to be able to pick different faces from different images so you get the perfect shot. And then we've got the personalized AI. So this is kind of like Gemini and Bixby combined. And we've got a conversational search experience with natural language. Let's try this out. So you should be able to find restaurants and add them to your notes. Find the latest football games, for example, and add them to your calendar. Let's try this. Can you find me the top 5 halal restaurants in Leicester and then add them to my notes, please?
Sure, saved as a note.
Okay. So this is apparently saved as a note. I'm not sure where the note is. It's not in my Samsung notes. We'll try something else. Find me the next 5 games of Leicester City and add them to my calendar.
Got it. You want to create these 5 events. Do you want to go ahead and create them right now?
Yes, please.
Okay, everything's done.
Okay, so that seemed to work here. These have been added to my Google Calendar. Now, the Bixby element is going to let you control within settings. So I should be able to say, can you switch off the always on display?
Sorry, I can't turn off the always on display.
Okay, so it's not doing that through Gemini, but then I can do that through Bixby. Can you switch off the always on display?
All right, I turned off always on display.
Okay, so that worked. So I'm still gonna have to get used to Gemini and Bixby and see if there's a way for them to work together, but you get an initial preview. Now we've seen Live Translate and the interpreter feature on the S24 series last year, but now Live Translate has 20 languages, which is up from 16, and it happens on device, so you're not gonna need an internet connection. Now, a new feature that I think a lot of people will like is call transcript. So you'll be able to easily record phone calls, and when you just tap the button, the other person will get a notification that the call is being recorded. It'll record the call and then it will transcribe it for you, and then you can also summarize it with AI. Browsing Assist was one of my favorite features on the S24 series. This has now been improved, so you can summarize web pages, you can translate them, but you can also read aloud the highlights. Circle to search has been improved. We've got enhanced recognition. You can search text, images, and even sound in videos. So basically Shazam, but what's actually playing on the phone itself too. There's AI select, so you can just swipe in from the side and select AI select, select AI select. Great. And it's going to be able to recognize what you have on screen. So for instance, if you were to select some text, then the writing assistant pops up. If you select an image, then the drawing assist and generative edit pops up. And if you select a link, for example, then it's going to let you action that by going to a website. If it's an address, it will open maps, things like that. We've got the now bar and now brief. So the now bar is like the dynamic island that we've got on the iPhone, but it's actually a lot more reachable and it's towards the bottom. So you've got fast access from the lock screen. So you can manage your most used apps and controls if you've got a timer, if you've got football scores, maybe you've got maps and directions. And Now Brief uses a personal data engine, and it's basically a proactive assistant. It's going to give you a summary of your sleep, tell you the weather forecast, your schedule reminders. This is something that's gonna start personalizing based on your usage. So again, this is something that I will cover in my full review. Now for the speakers, we've got stereo speakers, one in the earpiece, one bottom firing. At the bottom, you also have the S Pen, the USB-C port, a SIM card tray. Here in the UK, you do get a dual SIM card slot, and you can also use eSIMs. There's nothing on the left-hand side. On the right-hand side is the power button as well as the volume rocker. And at the top, we have 2 dots for the mics. Now, for connectivity, we've got Bluetooth 5.4, Wi-Fi 7, and ultra wideband technology. And for the battery, we have the same size battery as we had on the S24 Ultra. So it is 5000 milliamps, but with the new 8 Elite chipset for Galaxy, it should be more efficient. So we should get better battery life on the already good battery life that we had on the S24 Ultra. Charging speeds have not changed. We've got up to 45 watts of wide charging. This is not included, as you saw at the start of the video. You're going to have to get this separately. There's support for 15 watts of wireless charging with wireless power share. Now, we do have Qi 2 wireless charging support, but you're going to have to get a compatible case. If I try to put on MagSafe here, it doesn't really stick on. So as you saw earlier with our video sponsor Subcase, if you got a compatible case, then you will be able to use all of the MagSafe accessories out there. Now finally, for price. So the S25 Ultra starts at the same price as the S24 Ultra did last year. So that's $1,300 or £1,250 in the UK. Now the 512 and 1 terabyte versions are the same in US, but they have actually been reduced in the UK. They're £50 lower, so £1,350 for the 512 gigabyte version or £1,550 for the 1 terabyte version. However, as I mentioned earlier in the video, if you use my affiliate link down in the description and in the comments, then you can get double the storage for free and you can get up to $350 in instant Samsung credit, depending on the deal you go for. And $50 of that is exclusive with that link down in the description below. Samsung are also offering up to $900 for trade-in. So if you have an S24 Ultra, you can get $900 off the price of the S25 Ultra. So although I would generally advise against updating, especially because of the lack of Bluetooth on the S Pen, if you do pick up a good pre-order deal, then this might be a good device for you to go for. Now, yes, it's not perfect. In a lot of ways, it's an incremental update, but we do have the 8 Elite. We have the improvements on the cameras, which I'm really looking forward to testing out. And I'd also say this has one of the best displays out there. You can pre-order now, and this will be going on sale on the 7th of February. So you've got a bit of time to decide, but those pre-order deals don't usually last too long. So if you are interested in getting this, I'd advise getting it ASAP. And that's what I think anyway. What do you guys think? Definitely let me know, and also let me know what other coverage you'd like me to do with this. Of course, the camera comparison is in the works. If you want to see that first, then do subscribe and hit that bell icon if you haven't already. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it useful. If you did, then do smash that like button for me. Thanks for watching. This is Saf on SuperSaf TV, and I'll see you next time.